Good afternoon and welcome to our talk about our Ultra Cyber Guardian solution, which was created to provide a cost-effective but highly secure solution to protect critical information systems from data breach or hijacking. And we all know in the news today, we're seeing this every single day. So who are the principals? Well, I'm Tammy Lockhart. You can see I have a background in software as mainly as a product manager. I have shipped many successful products on the market and have worked with numerous cross-functional teams. And I'll let Robert introduce himself.
My name is Robert Brown III. I have more than 40 years of design and development experience. Um, and yeah, all of this is nice, but to give you an idea, um, to give you an idea of what I've been doing, basically, I am an expert in architecting and designing secure systems, user interface development. Basically, I'm a full stack engineer, and I have a master's in computer science for those that care about the piece of paper. And basically, what it says here is pretty much describes a lot of my areas of expertise. Um, well, some things it doesn't talk about is microservices and hexagonal architecture for those techies that, or for those that really are into the techie related stuff. But basically, what I am is a software problem solver. I solve your problems in software, and in this case, we are working with in conjunction with Tammy. We have worked on and developed a solution to a serious security problems.
Yes, that's a good segue to our next slide. Because as you all know, you look at the news, of course, we all heard about United Healthcare Change System getting hit repeatedly. In the case of the Ardent Health Systems, it actually took their network offline and caused them to have to divert people from their emergency room, so it impacted patient care. And what we're seeing is that health organizations in particular are the target of hackers. They're a number one target. Some people think it's because they seem to be willing to pay and nobody knows this is going on. This is all very hidden. But ransomware attacks impacted, at least as far as they could measure, the fact that it says 66% of healthcare orgs, that's probably not the whole number. Recently, Chicago's Children's Hospital was forced to take themselves offline after a cyber attack, and meaning they couldn't get to the patient records, they had to pay a ransom. It impacts your patient care. The government may start stepping in with fines, and anybody whose data is exposed may seek to sue you. So there have been several studies. People actually said up to 87% of the respondents. Who knows, there may be some in there who didn't want to admit it, but they have been damaged, and the cost of the average data breach is going up. And Robert rightly makes this last point. Robert, if you want to speak to that.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of there are a lot of costs besides the ransomware that people end up paying. The main cost, of course, is the shutdown of your systems and the inability to do business. Whether you're a whether you're running a factory or running an insurance company, or if you're in a hospital, which is particularly bad, especially since so many things in hospitals nowadays are computerized. That's and then that can create all manner of health risks and all manner of other problems. So yeah, these numbers. that are here on the slide, yeah, they're pretty high, but they don't tell the whole story because there's the, there's the cost of the law, there's the cost of possible lawsuits, there's cost of fines, like say if there are any HIPAA violations, there's costs involved in just being unable to run your day-to-day operations due to your systems being compromised, or loss of business due to people realizing that your that that there's been a data theft on your organization. That's another thing. So there may be people that decide not to go with you simply because your data's been hacked and people's personal identifiable information, or worse, personal health information has been stolen. So yeah, so there are costs, but there are also hidden costs as well.
Yep. And so where's this leading us? Well, Robert and I feel that if your data is not encrypted, then you are at risk. And the reason is that encrypted data can't be unlocked. And so if they actually get through some of your defenses, what they're going to see will not be readable. And they can't, it would be crazy to try to re-encrypt it, and I'll let Robert explain why that will fail.
Yes, if you utilize the encryption algorithms correctly, as well as the constraints that you put on your encrypted database, once you've encrypted some data, if somebody tries to encrypt it again so they can hit you with ransomware, basically what happens is the database itself will simply, all the rights of the encrypted data will fail, is what will happen. But it has to be done right. You have to put the right constraints on the database, um, and you have to put it in the right format, et cetera, et cetera. But it just so happens that we put it in the right format and we put the correct constraints on the database.
So, yes, let's face it, these hacking incidents are mainly people are hacking passwords, or are they getting through what they call root accounts, or they're have done
Yeah,
a
there could
phishing
be
attack. Yeah.
yeah, there could be backdoors in your system that are put in there. It's usually hacking the root access, which you can actually avoid usually by hardening your system. But there's still the possibility that you can be that someone can access your database directly. Um, and of course, there can also be, when I talk about backdoors, what I'm talking about is things like special accounts that could get compromised, um, uh, database ports open so that people can actually access your database directly, or even security flaws in the APIs that your applications use to access the data. Um, all of those things can lead to access to the data, but again, um, and you can put all these security things in there, but it doesn't matter if the database is encrypted. Any circumvention of your security will not gain anybody anything as a result.
Yes, we use the technical term that the data looks like gobbledygook.
Yep, that is a technical term. That's right. Anybody trying to steal your data, all they're going to see is gobbledygook. anybody trying to put ransomware on your system will be incredibly well frustrated, because the gobbledygook they try to put on will be rejected because of the gobbledygook that's already in there.
Exactly. There's just no, they can't actually get your data. And so, some of the reasons encryption doesn't seem to be more widely used, since it's such a great solution. In the past, people have considered encryption solutions too hard to do. You had to do key management, or the vendors charged a lot of money. But we have a package solution that makes this all very easy. So I'll let Robert speak to his design here.
Basically, Cyber Guardian uses a technology that can pretty much encrypt any database. You don't have to buy or rent or pay subscriptions for expensive special encrypted databases. I can take pretty much any database that you have, any relational database for now, but I'll be doing NoSQL databases in the not too distant future. But for now, pretty much any relational database can be encrypted, which means you can actually use whatever database you want to use our service, and we can encrypt all of the data that's in that database. That's the great thing. The key management. There are key management mechanisms that are built into our solution that automate the key management. They not only is it automated, but it's also inobtrusive. The user doesn't see the key management at all, and they use the keys. Uh, they use the keys. What's the word I want to use? Not invisibly. It's more
Transparently.
like in the background,
Right.
basically.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and you can and let's see what else. Yeah, so key management, it's taken care of. The encryption solution is very simple for people to use, but it's also fairly simple to set up as well. Um, and let's see, yep, and yeah, there's the 3 levels of security that we also do. Um, and the security that is built around this system or within this system is attribute-based security. It's called ABAC, or attribute-based access control. Those that are technical will appreciate what that means. But for those that are not, an attribute-based control allows very fine-grained control over who accesses what, not only in the database itself, but even in parts of the database. So we can pretty much control who has access to what resources, or you can control, and it's really easy to set up, really easy to use.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you continue to talk about how Server Defender provides
Oh
part of
yes,
the security picture.
yes. The Server Defender was created by a company called Factor 3 WebWorks. Oh, wait a minute. That's me. Oh, never mind. Anyway, the Server Defender. Well, it's pretty much what the slide says. It literally protects applications from various types of attacks. These attacks can be your basic denial of service attacks, if someone's trying to shut down the server using a DDoS attack, or any other type of DOS attack. This thing will prevent that from working. But the other thing it does is well, it detects when people are trying to access the actual management pages that are in an application, and prevents that from happening. It detects when people are trying to guess passwords, which is basically the most common way of breaking into people's systems is to just keep guessing passwords. Um, and it also prevents people from even guessing, from even scanning and guessing all of the services that your application may provide. So yes, and let's see, that's pretty much what the diagram shows here.
Yeah, and
Um,
I just was
yes.
gonna add that one reason that you know about this is because you are running your own cloud
Oh
and
yes, I
have
forgot to
applications.
mention that. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. Yes, I happen to run my own cloud system, and I also run a few applications out with both within and outside my cloud system. And basically, my applications are all protected by the server defender. And I get attacked by all manner of folks, bad guys from all over the world. I get attacked by I've been attacked by Chinese hackers. They seem to be the ones most interested in cracking my system. And I get attacked. I've been attacked a few times by East European folks. I've had a few attacks from Russia. I feel honored that these people are so willing to try and break into my network, except that they all fail.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's something people don't seem to realize is that some of these hackers are state sponsored.
yes, actually, what will happen is you'll get one of two types of hackers. There will be those that actually work for the states that or on behalf of the state of the countries that they work for when they're trying to hack you. And then there's the kind that various bad actor countries will actually hire. So you could be attacked from Britain, for example, but the British hacker that's attacking you could be paid by North Korea, for example, in order to try and break into your system and compromise it. So, but yes, the server defender prevents all of that. Ah, yes, the database security system. This pretty much describes the encrypted database that our product utilizes. Basically, the idea here is that you've got your various applications. They call the server. That query APIs that you see are not necessarily on the applications. They could be on the application could be sending requests to a server which calls the query API. And then basically what happens is every time you do a database query, it goes through this encryption decryption library. So when you want to do a select, when you want to do a list of like say all of the patients in your database, then what happens is the encryption decryption library will decrypt it for you if you have the correct key. And I'll give you a clue. The correct key is not your password.
Yes,
Um,
and these are, of course, secure communications as well.
that's right. The communications are secure. It's the standard SSL. Well, with a few additions which utilize larger number encryption. and as well as, well, right now, some of the most not common, I'm sorry, most up-to-date encryption algorithms are used to encrypt to protect the database. This encryption, I'm talking things like AES, elliptic curve cryptography, and in the not too distant future, we'll be putting some quantum encryption algorithms in the event that in the event that quantum computing gets becomes more available, which, from what I hear, they're doing a very good job of creating quantum decryption algorithms. So,
Yep, as we mentioned before, we also have 3 levels of protection. And again, I'm going to defer to Robert because this is his design.
all right, there is two-factor authentication, which everybody is familiar with. In some cases, it utilizes SMS to send you a code to your phone. The phone gets your code. You type in the code after you've authenticated yourself with a username and password, and you're in. Um, the second the second method, of course, is to use an authenticator like Microsoft Authenticator, for example, which is more secure. Unfortunately, both of those techniques, while they are more secure, you have to be careful what you do with them, because they are hackable. There is a third way of doing protection, and that's using keys, hardware keys. That also, while it's not quite mentioned here, that also is offered, or will be offered soon, by our product. But, oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. There it is. Extremely secure protection. Yes, that's right. This key is connected to your device. You enter a PIN in order to use the second factor authentication. Now, one other thing that we do is that we use passphrases instead of passwords. The idea here is that passphrases are larger than passwords, and they have the advantage of being taking a lot longer to be able to crack. And since we don't allow people to make too many guesses from any specific place of a person's password, then that just makes it all that more difficult to guess the password. So yeah, we require passphrases instead of just passwords. Though with passphrases, you can do the same things that you would do with a secure password. Minimum of 14 characters, um, using uppercase and lowercase, special characters, numbers. You can put all of those just as easily in a passphrase as you can with a password. So yeah, you make a good passphrase, and your system will be a bit more secure. And then we add authentication, verification systems, or the extremely secure hardware keys, and believe me, your system will be secure.
So to summarize what we've been speaking around, we believe we have a superior solution because we have rolled many features together to make it easy to implement and easy to secure your application data. And again, I'm going to let Robert sum up here.
Well, one of the things that that actually we almost forgot to mention to them, Tammy,
Hmm.
is the ability to migrate existing data over to the over to make it encrypted. Um, that part that also is an easy process. But yes, Server Defender, it runs on a secure system. It blocks out hackers. Um, S- Server Defender, Server Defender protects the applications themselves, and the application, the Ultra Cyber Guardian, is running on a hardened system, meaning that all of the standard ways, particularly for those techies out there, uh, Linux machines, hardened Linux machines. So you know what that means. Using CentOS, for example, we use SE Linux. On Ubuntu machines, we would use the App Armor. They're both highly secure systems that help harden your operating system, so that people can't get in through those. Very strong firewalls, network monitoring, as well as the server defender doing its thing to prevent people from breaking into the system. But then, of course, yeah, we use passphrases for authentication, two-factor authentication, authorization with attribute-based security, meaning that you have fine-grained control over who has access to what. And of course, there's the database encryption. If by some miracle some evil individual manages to actually get at your data, then they have to contend with a very strong encryption that is, well, you can it can be it can be cracked. Any encryption can be cracked. It's just when it can be cracked. Oh, I'd say if you're willing to wait 100 years, then you might actually crack the encryption on the database.
It's time consuming.
Yes, very time consuming.
So next steps, we are in the midst of running some alpha testing, which will go on for a while. Coming up in April, I'm sorry, we will be running our beta trial, and we're looking for folks who'd like to participate. And what we're going to promise them is a very low upfront cost, and a chance to test with your sandbox data, which you would probably want to do anyway. But if you are accepted as a trial member, you will forever receive a reduced monthly fee for being one of our early customers. Of course, there's going to be cost of living increases, but basically you would save a lot over the lifetime of using this extremely secure data that will protect you from your data being hijacked or breached. And so you can find me, well, you can always actually contact Robert as well. We're both on LinkedIn. Probably the most sane way to find us, since we're working here via LinkedIn. And again, we're looking to start up in early April. So let us know. We'd be delighted to have you participate. And I thank you, and Robert thanks you.
I thank you as well. Thank you for your attendance, and I hope to hear from at least some of you very soon.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.